the most important thing is that you prepare for the game and that your players are focused on playing their best football, knowing that they're going to play against good football players and a good football team. But if there was, every game is important, so every game we prepare for in a way that is most beneficial to our players being the best players that they can be, most prepared that they can be. And when you look in games like this, most of the time things come down to how you execute, what kind of fundamentals you play with, how many mental errors you make, how you take care of the ball, how many turnovers do you make. And I don't think any player needs to feel like they need to do anything different or special. They just need to do their job. This is a very, very good team, all the way around, and certainly we want to prepare and play our best football in games like this. And it's an opportunity that our players have created for themselves by what they've done, and they should look at this game as an opportunity for them to accomplish some of the goals and aspirations that they set for themselves early in the season. It's fun to play in games like this. It's probably what great competitors look forward to, but I also think it's important to be able to stay focused on what you need to do to play well. And you can't, drain yourself emotionally because of all the things that are happening surrounding the game. You got to be ready to play the game when the game comes. And to do that, you got to do a good job in preparation in terms of how you rest, how you practice, how you focus, how you study. All those things, remain of utmost importance in any game that you play, but especially in, games like this when you're playing against very good teams. I lose sleep over about every game, even the ones that we win, because, you never play perfectly, and there's always areas that you have concern about, and maybe you analyze how and what you did, how you prepared for certain situations, what you could have done differently. But I think that happens with everybody a little bit more so when you're not successful and you don't have success in a particular game. And I don't know that there's any added motivation, or if anybody's sitting around thinking about what happened last year. I think everybody's kind of looking forward to the opportunities that they have right now. I think there's certainly lessons to be learned anytime you play a team year in and year out, and maybe all those things that you learn affects how you prepare for the team in the future. Trent's a good all-around player. I think people just look at how many yards he gains when he's, running the ball, but he's a very, very good pass receiver. He's also an excellent blocker in pass protection when he needs to be. And I think that's got to be sort of the approach that everyone takes in terms of how do we execute as a unit. Because when you play against, good people, if you don't execute, and you're only as strong as your weakest link, so if one guy's not executing, then, that can affect the entire performance of that particular unit on that play. So everyone's going to have to be focused on doing their job well for Trent Richardson to be able to do the things that we would like for him to do in the running game as well as the passing game. My time at LSU was a special time, and I think that the memories of the friends that we have and the accomplishments that we were able to make and the improvements in the program that we were able to make, not just in terms of the football games that we won, but built an academic center, created, some other things that have helped the program long term. Those are all special memories. It was more difficult when players that you recruited or coached were still playing and you had to play against those guys, and that's not true now. I'm focused on our team, our guys, what they need to do, how they need to do it. So I really don't think a lot about that. But there are a lot of personal relationships that we have with a lot of people because of the association that we have with LSU in the past. And the older you get, and everybody knows I'm getting old, you kind of cherish those relationships and really respect them and appreciate them a lot. And I'm happy to say that a lot of those things don't get affected by this game and what happens in this game. All I can say is I think clearly both teams that are playing in this game have established the fact that based on the body of work to this point, that they are some of the best teams in the country. And the fact that we have to play at this time because of our conference, our division, and our schedule, I think that everybody should view that game as these are two of the best teams playing, and how that game affects the future should not be relative to just who won and lost, but actually the quality of the teams. Unfortunately, some of the best lessons you learn sometimes are the mistakes that you make. And those are the best opportunities that we all have to learn and improve, is not necessarily always through the successes, but sometimes in the failures. And I think our coaching staff has done a good job of sort of teaching, our players, and they have improved and developed, and that's helped us get better. The players had a little birthday party, and they all signed this jersey number 60 with my name on the back. I held that thing up and I said, Saban and 60. That first of all, I wasn't thinking about age. I was thinking about, I'm a skill player. There's no way I can sport this 60, man. I got to have a lower than 50 number of some sort. So that's how I feel, and that's how I think.